So what makes video content valuable to an AI training system is obviously so dependent on what their needs are and what they're looking to develop overall. Like Lionsgate was trying to develop films that would come out of its existing content. That wasn't so easy. One of the beginning points is what makes content valuable across the board is 4K. If I'm searching to break the 4-minute barrier, I'm not going to do it with less than 4K. And maybe there's AI that turns old SD and earlier formats, not 4K, into 4K. That's part of probably what includes synthetic data and all these other ways they're trying to fill up this insatiable need for video data. But for us, let's stay focused on the video data. Obviously, we want to have an unusual compositional angle. In the frame that you're looking at, we can look lower, we can look higher, we can look side to side. There are 360 degrees to any view. So what are the unique angles? What is the framing of the actual shot? What is the temporal uniqueness, time-lapse, transitions? Remember the element of time in the video you're shooting, but seeing something that you don't see every day. Do you see what I mean by edge cases? What you don't normally see. The stuff you do, like me talking on this podcast. I could sell these videos, but I could only sell me talking on the podcast because I use what's called B-roll. Take a look at this over my face right now. That's B-roll, some video image or audio that I use, but I don't have permission to put it into AI licensing. So I would have to take that out. Then I'm only a talking head, and we're really talking like $1 a minute there. Not bad. If you shoot 60 minutes, keep 20, and you have 60 minutes to sell at $1, you make $60. It's not going to get you rich, but it does help some of the costs. But you can see why the $4 a minute is really not only the goal, but really to exceed that. That's a lot less money if you're actually shooting and doing something creative. But if you're out in the middle of the woods shooting a vista, some mountains, watching the weather change, that kind of time lapse could be really ideal to sell. But you want to look into this first, see what the demand is, and then fill it with the content either you create or curate by working with other people. Because there's a lot of videos sitting around that people don't even know what to do with, and that many are using to push into this early market. So if you want to know what kind of video is valuable, you want to go to the places selling it. Now, I'm showing you Trovio only because it's the most obvious and most transparent at this stage. But if you look down at their categories, you can see what they're selling. Obviously, nature. And you can see if you're looking on this video version, I include links in my Substack and on YouTube. We're seeing all sorts of nature scenes, mostly without the faces of people. This makes it really valuable. We're seeing sports. Sports is another one, but again, you have to have this sign off. Though most of these events, the athletes and things sign off. But when there's people involved, there are a lot of rights involved, and that could stop you from being able to move forward. Bottom line, less people, the better. That's why nature works really well. There's all sorts of like a new media category, which again is like TikTok and commercials and things like that. There's scripted, which helps AI learn from the different training, like in a commercial. Facial expressions, facial recognition. But if we use unscripted and it's more random, that might put more of the knowledge because these are not usual behaviors. They're not predictable. Therefore, theoretically, more learning for it. Now we're seeing what the market shapes up like. You seem to go to the different sites to see what type of video. That's going to be a shoot where you want to figure out what categories are getting offered and getting purchased and following that trend, because it's impossible to predict if that 50,000 hour dog video need is something that's just like here and there, or if there's a consistent demand for what's happening.